Kalesh is going to give you the counting. So Subarna, he's gonna give you the counting of 10, 9, 8, 7.
Ma'am, anyone to make to co-host?
No. I'm just gonna watch the YouTube link
from YouTube video.
Yeah, I'm just gonna see from the YouTube
background. Monica, where's your background?
यार मेरे को बनाने का time नहीं मिला. What should I do?
No, you're good. You're good.
You want some light on yourself? Is she good light?
Is it good?
अच्छा मोनिका थोड़ी बहुत लाइट में जाके बैठो. नहीं मतलब तुम्हारे फेस में लाइट चाहिए.
Okay, then let me get some.
Why don't you sit near the bed and put the camera in front of the window? Put the camera in front of the window. Then only the light. Yes, exactly.
So let me put the some light on the in front of me. Maybe let me grab something.
Whatever.
You don't have much time, Monica. So hurry.
She got a tripod of her.
Tanvi, if you don't mind, can you, I know it is a laptop, so can you please lower down your head space a little, like your, like over, like the top of your head is too much space.
Yeah.
So, no, just tilt the laptop little bit towards you. Yeah, towards you.
That's better.
More. Now go back. Okay, now it is too much. A little back. That's it. No more. Not much.
That's it.
Not much more.
Check her audio. Can you check her? Just check her audio if she's clear. If she has...
Hi. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Okay. I just want to say, everybody, I know that you all are really an expert to do the Zoom meetings and all, but since this is the TV thing we're doing in Zoom, so we have to make sure that we're looking at the lens all the time. So whenever you are talking, please don't look at any other screen. Just look at your lens and talk. Okay. I mean,
is
just
it better,
imagine.
Rajani? Is it better, Subarna?
Let me see. कहाँ पर है तुम्हारे लाइट भाई? ये क्या लाइट है? कहाँ पर लाइट है? ये विंडो से कितनी अच्छी लाइट आ रही है. वो उधर जाके बैठोगी तो कितनी अच्छी लगोगी. Seriously, the natural नहीं विंडो के पीछे नहीं बाबा. हाँ, ऑपोजिट में डालना है. बिल्कुल घूमो. Turn around. You can just cover the bed with your back. You can move around, move a little.
Then bed.
All right. No. Hold on. Go to your right, Monica. Go to your right with a chair. Go to your right. Yeah. I mean left. I'm sorry. Left.
There's not much space, Ragini.
Try hard, please. Okay.
Should have asked me. I would have.
Maybe.
Yes, exactly. Stay there.
I have to bring some table here then. Just
okay, all right. Do that. But then, because that is gonna be that fantastic position with the lights. Do that.
Let me see background. Just let me try the background.
Hey Bhagwan, 4 minutes hai baki bhai.
Koi baat nahi. I'll do it.
Okay.
Just do any background if it's a possibility. Okay. Viviana and Michael, sorry about the language. We speak Hindi, so you know.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about that, because I do the same when I'm around Spanish-speaking people. So don't worry. It's just whatever you're more comfortable with. So.
Okay, she's getting ready. I would be looking down a little bit, because I hope my face is not, because I would be reading a lot of profiles. So, I have to look down a little bit.
Do you want to look down once for a second?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you're perfectly fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, Ragini, my computer light was down.
You're fine. Everybody is good. Michael is actually took all the lights from everybody.
He's overglowing.
Michael just got the lights from everybody. I'm serious. You guys should borrow. Yes.
That's my Irish. There's
I was
nothing I
gonna
can do
say,
about that.
That's the skin tone.
Yeah,
I'm serious. I'm serious.
I didn't get the dark Italian in me. I got a little bit of Italian in me, but I've got all that Irish.
Michael, the sun isn't out to get a tan, right?
I when I was in high school, I could get a tan when I was, living on the Jersey Shore. I could do that. In the past 30 years, forget it. I burnt.
About time to move back to Jersey.
Yeah. Hey, I'm liking the wine of the Finger
Monica.
Lakes.
Yeah.
है तुम कहाँ गई भाई
हम आ रहे हैं इस पर मैं कुछ बड़ी ईशान
वो कुछ लेके आ रही है जल्दी से अच्छा क्या बात है मुझे ये बहुत अच्छी लगती है like 6:58 and now she went to get something oh my god this is
Oh my
amazing
God, this is crazy. Hi.
this is amazing yeah this is amazing these things happens all the time so that's good
Maybe she needs more heads up than all of us.
oh my god yes
Yeah, I get this.
I'm
I'm
getting
a
nervous
digital
now
producer. I
because
get
I
this.
have to do everything. I'm getting nervous now.
Why?
Stop.
Why
Okay,
you are
nervous.
getting nervous Subarna
Go,
everybody
Subarna. You're a
is
rock
looking
star.
fantastic everybody is looking so good and awesome you guys are gonna rock yes where is she okay she's back
Where is she?
okay
You gotta let her go now. It's okay, whatever it is.
भाई तुम्हारा head space थोड़ा कम करो Monica I mean can you tilt the laptop towards you
Come closer, Monica, to your screen a little bit and tilt yourself. Yeah, tilt the laptop. That's it.
tilt the laptop 6:59 guys Lalish is gonna give you the counting now Subarna guys get ready
Okay.
and wish you all the
Okay,
best
ma'am.
rock the show
Ready?
yep
10,
I'm
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good evening, everyone. On American Diabetes Alert Day, we welcome you all to our panel discussion on living with diabetes, a holistic approach to management. Managing diabetes is a team effort. This panel discussion is brought to you by Mana TV International in collaboration with Lions Clubs International, the world's largest humanitarian organization. And with one of their global mission is to combat diabetes. Some of our panelists have been dealing with this chronic condition for over 2 decades. As they would agree, unmanaged diabetes could lead to severe complications. It is important to understand that diabetes is a chronic and ongoing condition. This means that there is no cure, and we live with it probably for the rest of our lives. Having said that, many studies and research indicate you can live a productive life with a mindset transformation and healthy lifestyle choices. Today, with our expert panelists, we are going to discuss some of the choices they have made to deal with this disease and what more can be done. Without further ado, let me go around the room to introduce our panelists for tonight. We extend a warm welcome to Lion Michael Donahue, who joins us from West New York, from Bloomfield Lions Club. Welcome, Michael. He's
Thank you.
diabetes community in number of volunteer roles with Lions Clubs International, International Diabetes Federation, Blue Circle Voices, and others. He also works professionally in diabetes as a freelance consultant, as well as the founder of his own communication program development firm. Earlier this month, Michael participated in the World Health Organization's informal consultation of people living with diabetes, providing insight to World Health Organization's NCD team to assist in the creation and the April release of the Global Diabetes Compact. Michael earned his ADCS Diabetes Paraprofessional 1 certification, has also completed courses through the IDF School of Diabetes. Currently, he's working on an online certificate program on foundations in global health through Johns Hopkins University. He is also nearly completed a course, in global health policy from SUNY Stony Brook. Next up, we have Tanvi Shah, author of Decoding the Yoga Cleanse Scientifically. Quote unquote, she says, I'm proud to present my 3 years of research on Shank Prashakla Yoga Cleanse saltwater detox cleanse in my book. Yoga is her passion, and she claims it's an ongoing journey. She's also a registered Yoga Alliance teacher. Next, we will welcome Anu Vupla, a type 2 diabetic and a voracious healthy eating advocate, and blogs through her own page on Instagram, Healthy Diva. She's a huge proponent of mindful eating and the food that goes into our gut. Welcome, Anu. Next up, we have Monika Mishra, a certified mindfulness meditation and yoga alliance RYT 200 instructor with around 10 years of learning and teaching experience. She is inducted to the International Academy of Meditation Instructors as a certified meditation instructor, CMI. Her emphasis is more on breathing techniques to de-stress the mind and body. Like myself, she's also a certified peer educator in chronic disease self-management program through Middlesex County Public Health Department, and currently teaching a peer group under Rutgers University's study of South Asian living with diabetes. She also hosts her own show called Breath and Beyond on Mana TV International. And last but not the least, and a very warm welcome to our guest, Viviana de Los Angeles. Viviana has been employed with the Middlesex County Health Department of Public Safety and Health Office of Health Services for 10 years. Viviana is the coordinator of the Regional Chronic Disease Coalition of Middlesex and Union counties. She is responsible for managing all coalition and grants. In addition to her coalition duties, Ms. de Los Angeles plans, implements, and evaluates bilingual, evidence-based health education and community outreach program. She is a master trainer for the New Jersey Department of Human Services, Take Control of Your Health self-management programs, and is responsible for providing training and technical assistance for peer leaders across the state. A very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us on the Diabetes Alert Day, Living with Diabetes, a holistic approach to management panel discussion. So before we begin, some housekeeping rules. All panelists will get about 10 minutes. This is a 50-minute show, so we will have about 10 minutes to, for each participant. So if we are talking, if you want to have, I will be posing questions to everyone. And in that time, if you have anything to say, or if you want to you may raise your hand. You have the button to raise your hand, and we will take that question later. I would like to begin with Michael. So, Michael, you have been, you're a diabetic yourself, and you have been volunteering in different organizations. So we would like to know, what has been your journey? What has been your diabetic journey? And tell us your story.
I would have to say the main reason for my story is that I've made a lot of wrong choices and a lot of wrong turns. Unfortunately, well, I've been living with diabetes almost 25 years, and I was diagnosed in New Jersey. So there you go. But the point for me is I've gone through some really twists and turns through my life, working hard, working in advertising agencies and things like that. Went through a divorce. And basically what happened was in the past 10 years, I ended up developing a number of complications. Starting with diabetic retinopathy, we realized things had gone very poorly. I ended up having congestive heart failure for what was seen as a heart valve, but it saved my life because I went in for that surgery and they found 3 blocked arteries. So, and it just CKD, chronic kidney disease. I deal with also diabetic nerve pain. So I sound like a wreck, but the turnaround on this too is I've learned what are the things that need to be done and have to be handled. So I would, and as you mentioned before, I actually have my diabetes paraprofessional. And the reason why I did that was I'm a promoter and I'm a speaker and those types of things. But I've also learned in being a part of the IDF as well as the Lions Club, being a district representative, I needed to understand it more and understand the details more, because I'm a marketer and promoter by background. So over the last year and a half, I've taken more time, and that's also how I ended up getting, and I've been told that I'm very honest and open. And I think that has been the key, is be willing to share these stories from somebody who knows what it's like. I wish I was a type 2 who has a pretty straight shot and I can feel my hands doing well and other parts of my body just, working. But you know what? It's work. It's a full-time job, but no complaints.
So what choices did you make? So what was your turnaround? So what kind of transformation did you have to make? I know it's a chronic, so once you have diabetes and it's tough. And so and it's just not the person who's dealing with it, is also the family and the people around so what kind of, did you find enough support? Did you had to struggle with it, or how was that around you? How were people around you, and how did you deal with that?
I think that the family and those people around me, both my parents were type 2s. My father passed away due to diabetes. And it's type of thing where I had to come to the realization and understand the changes I had to make. And I think it's like anybody on this show can back this up. There's 5 key things I had to get in focus: my diet, exercising, the orders that my physician has been given me, as well as the medications recommended. And then the 2 that have been the toughest over even the last week, because I'm dealing with teenagers, is that stress as well as sleep. So those 2 seem to be a little out of balance at the moment, but it's that type of thing. Is I had to make those decisions. I had to share the information. I have not hid anything from my family. And it's type of thing where, again, my blood sugar before we came on was at 268. I knew why it was at 268, so I did what I had to do. And I'll check it after the show as well. So it's just taking the opportunity and knowing that moment by moment, know how you feel, understand what's going on around you and how you're going to respond.
True. Very well said. Yes. And I guess these are the key components that anyone who's dealing with any chronic illness, you have to take your health in control. And these are the key components: your diet, exercise, sleep pattern, and how do you decompress, correct? Yes. These are key essential items on the list when you have to deal with diabetes too. So also talk about your advocacy platform, Michael. I know you established A1C Challenge. What is it all about, or any other? And I know you work with Michael Diabetes. So tell us something about it, and share your work with us.
Sure. I ended up going in a lot of directions very quickly, because I left because of all the things I mentioned. I also deal with adult ADD, which is a lot of fun too. But what it was after I went through the health situation in 2015, I started A1C Wellness as an idea of putting a platform on the web that was more of almost like a Google, but not really, but to provide direction, because I could not find the information that really worked for me. It was very convoluted, all over the place. And the biggest thing, for example, if you go onto any social media, you can sit there and watch people giving all the wrong information to others asking questions. So that was the original plan for A1C Wellness. But over time, I decided, with my marketing and my communications background and program management, A1C Wellness, I extended it to call it A1C Wellness Diabetes. It is more of the platform I'm looking to have my professional life and the work that I can do for either organizations or companies who are looking to communicate those who deal with diabetes or work within the diabetes space as well. MichaelDiabetes.com is the site that I'm developing, which took over the original idea of that. But the other thing you had mentioned is the different activities. I came into Lions Club because of diabetes. I had two boys who were in the Leo's Club, and it kind of drew me over. And then due to that relationship, I learned about the relationship with the IDF and have built a very good opportunity with them. And I have speaking events even coming up with them in the next week or two, which has been a great opportunity. And they were also ones who invited me to the World Health Organization opportunity. So I'm out there just trying to make sure I would say I'm really a diabetes communication professional, and it goes anywhere from the individual to an organization to, globally. I spoke to my neighbor about DR yesterday because she's preparing for an exam in New York. Yet at the same time, we're speaking to a very large audience tonight. So there is no in between with me.
Wonderful. It's an honor to have you, Michael, and to, thank you for sharing your experience with us. And with
Thank
that, we'll move to Anu. Anu, I know you are a type 2 diabetic, and you've been a diabetic for a very long time. And I read you were able to get off insulin once as well. So tell us about your journey and how have you dealt with your diabetes? So, because this is a learning experience for everybody. There is, when I ask everybody their journey, is that I think some of it our audience can there is always a takeaway from each other's stories. And I think that's what we need to learn from each other. What worked for somebody may not work for others, but there's always that sharing should be open and honest. And I think in this kind of, dealing with a chronic illness, if patients are able to share their experiences, I'm sure it will reach others who are dealing with, and they will kind of connect with those stories somewhere or the other. And that's how I feel. So Anu, with that, would you like to share your story?
Thank you, Suvarna, for having me. And like Mike nailed it out clearly, it's a lot of things, but I'd say I'm much blessed. I'm not a type 1, I'm a type 2. But however, I did have a bumpy journey in my life with diabetes. I think so. Part of it initially was the denial or the rejection factor, that I have a condition where I need to focus on my lifestyle and try to be fit and all that stuff. So that rejection took a long time. And then little did I know the awareness or whatever tools and techniques what we have now. Back in the day, if I had, that would have been a lot helpful. So when I was diagnosed around an A1C of 8, which was not too high, but then it was out there. And then they put me on like a couple of oral medication. And then obviously this is a progressive disease if you don't manage it well. Those 2 medications went into 3, and 3 couldn't hold my numbers in place. And then they had to obviously get me onto insulin. And then many people don't know, but then insulin is a little bit of a two-way thing, especially if you don't manage your diabetes with eating habits or a healthy lifestyle. So I went into DKA twice, and being a type 2, it is not a usual pattern, which is a diabetic ketoacidosis. It could be fatal, but luckily I was, I think so my stars were aligned, and I'm right here surviving 2 attacks. But I must say, like back in 2005, I used to be on 3 shots of insulin, and then that progressed to 5 shots. And come 2012, I was like poking myself left, right, and center. But then again, I kind of went through little slumps, like eating good some days and then doing my gym regularly. But mine was not hereditary or genetic. Mine was stress related. So all I had to manage was my eating habits, workouts, and stress management. But then by the time I realized it was already 5 shots of insulin going into me, and it was 2013, that awakening moment or whatever you call it, it kind of hit me. And then I said, what am I doing with my life? And then I started doing a little bit of research, and I looked up on internet and found something called as Ketogenic Diet back in 2012, 2013. I was exploring that and then found out it was mainly all meat-based, egg-based, and all of that stuff.
You're a vegetarian, if I'm not
yes,
mistaken.
I'm a strong vegetarian. I don't do eggs, seafood, or any kind of meat. So I had to maneuver my path and figure out how do I get to this. Eventually, long story short, all I understood was the culprit was anything to do with the food which was in white. And obviously, that involves your rice, your wheat, your sugar, anything, all your carb calories, all of all of that. And me with an Indian background, I come from the carb background. So I had to understand and figure out a lot of intricacies. And I had to, I mean, my doctor was very supportive. He did say that he would prescribe me the blood sugar strips to test as much as I could, at least like 6 to 8 times, because I told that I want to reverse my diabetes, essentially controlling and getting off insulin is what I told. And then that was a two-way street. I did my lot of research. I kind of started with cutting down the carbs and trying to incorporate good protein, a little bit of fat, and all that. And 8-9 months into it of insulin, in 2014 August, I was off insulin. I'm currently also off insulin, but I'm on oral medication, which is basic minimum. Again, my pancreas, the beta cells are pretty much exhausted with all the overdoing whatever I did initially. So I must tell that if a newly diagnosed diabetic is around listening to this, I would really highly recommend them trying to figure out a pattern where it goes with low carb food, and then trying to controlling the mindfulness of how to eat what. That was one aspect, Suvarna, and the next one was workout, right? So I used to be on and off with my gym training and all that stuff, but then I kind of came with a steady pattern where I did a little bit of cardio, a little bit of strength training, trying to balance out. And again, in that 10 months, first initial 10 months, 8 to 10 months, I was down with about 40, 50 pounds of weight and of insulin. But I still did not come into that range of 5.7 or under. And then came a little bit of exposure into intermittent fasting. So that's where I hit it off. And then 3 months into intermittent fasting, healthy lifestyle, and being a little bit of a healthy nut with my fitness, I did achieve 5.6 as my A1C. And before I started, just so that you guys know, I was beyond the red zone. I was at a 14.4 A1C. So, I mean, there's a lot of hard work. Again, I always believe and advocate saying that the body is your only temple where you live. So do the rightful things, put the good things, and the rest all is sky is the limit. And in today's day and age, we have so much or so many tools that are available freely on internet. Just make use of it. And knowing a little bit of my difficult journey, being a vegetarian, what I did is I came up with my own blog, trying to put out all the experimented and tried and used recipes, putting it out there, which were essentially low carb. So that the rest of the folks would use. And I still continue to do that, but most of on my Instagram, which is again.
That is what Healthy Diva is all about. So my next question was about Healthy Diva. So tell us, so, okay, so yes, go ahead.
So in all of this journey, I mean, I thought like I wanted to come up with something sassy and as well as something healthy. So that's how Healthy Diva incepted. And I have my WordPress blog, which is healthydiva.site.com. And I'm on Instagram as my actual name, which is A. Rupala. And I still try to help here and there people who are vegetarian and living the same lifestyle with whatever way I can. But I think so when you post your tried and tested recipes on Instagram or on your WordPress, people do acknowledge and appreciate the hard work, what I do. And I think so this is kind of giving back to the community. And I mean, honestly, sometimes when when I find these tools online, which are readily available to use, I feel like so blessed. So I hope people can leverage my website or the blog and my Instagram. And I think, like I said, it's just paying back a little bit to the community.
Awesome, Anu. And I know I've followed your journey and I've known you for many years, and you've really worked hard, and congratulations on your insulin right now. And you've been able to bring down your A1C. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So that brings me to our next panelist, Ms. Tanvisha. How are you? You've been very quiet. So Tanvi just published a book, and congratulations. I have been trying to start one and can't seem to get it together. Kudos to you, man. In short, tell us, what is this book, Decoding the Yoga Cleanse Scientifically, all about? You know, it's a big name, sounds very interesting. Just tell us in brief, what is this all about? I know you put a lot of research. It's about 3 years of research, and about she mentioned about 150 research papers that she's gone through to come to this book. So I'm sure must be an interesting read. So go ahead, Tanvi, tell us about it.
The book name, it has a little small print also, extended small print. Decoding the Yoga Cleanse Scientifically, and the Law of Eating Fresh Food. That's the complete name, sorry.
So you have a tagline, Michael would understand the tagline, huh, Michael? Right.
So the book is about an ancient yoga cleanse. And when I say yoga cleanse, people will not understand maybe. So I'm going to give a little background about yoga. Now, the yoga, what we do today, are just the stretching poses, and it's one aspect of yoga. There are at least 8 aspects of yoga. Lots of people just know the stretching aspect, what they call yoga. Lots of people know, which is called asana. So lots of people know asana and the breathing techniques, pranayam. Lots of people know all the 8 aspects. They are like other spiritual aspects and do's and don'ts and things like that, meditation. And then there is an implied aspect. The implied aspect is for all kinds of yoga, and that is called the Shat Karma or the yoga cleanses.
Okay.
So in India, usually the Westerners would not know about this. But India, it's more well established, the Shat Karmas and all. Now, me being an avid reader, I have read a lot of Indian scriptures on yoga, and it has got lots of knowledge. And one of the scriptures I was reading, and it says, this particular book is on Shankh Prakshalna. We can call it the saltwater gut cleanse. It said, there's just like the descriptions are there. The scientific aspect of it is not mentioned. It's just in the scriptures, the descriptions are there. So it mentioned that this particular cleanse detoxifies the whole body. So it stayed with me for a long, long time. I tried to figure it out. I asked around, and I did not get a proper or a satisfactory answer. So in between, I did few science courses to understand yoga better. And one of my patients had leaky gut. So I did a little bit of research on leaky gut, and all of a sudden I got my answer. Why did the scriptures say that this cleanse detoxifies the whole body? So the book is, I mean, I have segmented each and every aspect of the yoga cleanse called the the Shatkarma or the yoga cleanse called Shank Prakshalna or the saltwater gut cleanse. Proved it scientifically. And the terms leaky gut and microbial dysbiosis, which are right now, there's a lot of research going on into leaky gut and microbial dysbiosis, and you'll hear these words pop up in various diseases, in autoimmune diseases, and in depression. In they're like, I would just read out how many diseases are associated. At least I found how many diseases were associated. So leaky gut microbial dysbiosis are associated with autoimmune hepatitis, type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, multiple sclerosis, Alzheimer's disease, inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's and colitis, irritable bowel syndrome, systematic lupus erythematosus, Parkinson's, colon cancer, depression, and congestive heart disease. So the book is all about that. How does
I believe you've mentioned, you've discussed in detail in your book about leaky gut and the microbial dysbiosis in your book. So, so can you briefly explain what are these and how they affect our body?
Yes.
I know it's a kind of a long discussion. There's a lot of research that has gone behind this, but then if you can just explain what is that you found and what is that you've discussed in your book about microbial dysbiosis and leaky gut, and what's the correlation?
Sure. So the leaky gut, if we open up our intestines and spread them, the intestine lining would cover around the whole of tennis court. That is how big the intestine cells are. That's how wide they would spread. So intestines is from where we get our nutrients apart from oxygen. And if this was one cell, this was the other cell, we have connecting junctions. So when in dynamic status, the body just absorbs the nutrients, okay? Well, when the person is not stressed, a person is eating healthy, person is eating chemical-free foods, happy situation, the cells just absorb the nutrients. Now, what happens is when the dynamic functioning of the intestine is not dynamic anymore, these things are a little loose, or functionally or physiologically, they're not functioning well. Anything and everything passes by to the other side, to the lumen, from the lumen to the intestines and beyond. So when anything and everything passes by, there's this particular one thing that is called endotoxin LPS. Now, endotoxin LPS is so lethal. Not in smaller quantities. All the human bodies have it in a little bit of small quantities, but when it gets into chronic phase, it is used in the laboratories as to induce instant inflammation. Okay, LPS is usually used. So the book is about, so the leaky gut allows the endotoxin LPS to get inside, and endotoxin is so much available in our gut because it comes from gram-negative bacteria. So that is leaky gut. Did I make myself clear, or do you want to ask anything?
No, go ahead. So that's leaky gut. So yeah, I just wanted to understand how does it, in your book, you mentioned there's a correlation. So how does it,
so
body?
I'll come to the correlation later on. Let me explain. You wanted to know the microbial dysbiosis also. Now, lots of people might not know, but our colon has around 1 to 2 kilograms of microorganisms. And everybody needs to have a certain proportion of certain strains for the body function to be dynamic. Now, when it is not in appropriate proportion, it's called dysbiosis. And when we have dysbiosis, basically, there's a lot of research going in microbial dysbiosis also. Everything and anything is related to microorganisms, metabolites. There's a lot of research going on with the United States has a human, HMP project where they've invested $17 million for this project. There are other European countries doing the research. And microbial dysbiosis is like, it changes, the microorganism proportions changes with the food we eat and the kind of food we eat, and it can change in as good as 3 days with the kind of food we eat.
Okay.
So now comes the book part. Now the book helps solve these two problems. Not the book, but the cleanse. So right now there is no medical, I mean, of course, when we take prebiotics and all, it helps to a certain extent to maintain the microbial symbiosis. But the cleanse, which is saltwater gut cleanse, it does the work so much faster. It helps with the leaky gut, it helps with the microbial dysbiosis, and the feeling is great after you do the cleanse.
So how does one, access a salt water? I mean, that's my next question. I mean, I'm glad. I mean, glad you brought that. You prescribing this in your book. But so, how does one, get to a saltwater gut cleanse? And and does it work? But for everybody, is that what you're saying? Is that?
No. Again, there are lots of precautions you need to do. You have to do it under an expert. Please, please, please do not just go ahead and do it. Read the book. If you have time, this is the book. I think so. It's mirror imaging. But again, I'm an environmentalist. I've just put it on Amazon for just $9.99. Where I was, so anybody and everybody should not do it. There are certain conditions we look for who cannot do it. There's some diet restriction you have to do. There's a preparation you have to do. The procedure has to be in a certain way. You just cannot go ahead and say, okay, I'm just going to read the book, do it. No, you have to do it under expert consultation.
Okay. So, and those experts would be a Ayurvedic instructor, or is it a yoga? I mean, that's what must.
I am one of them.
Yeah, you are. So if you're in California, so if you were in Jersey or in New York, how do we do that? So do you have any? So who do we go to? So that was my question to you.
Okay. So I have started doing it, providing the cleanse via Zoom or any other online platform. But I do need to have the health history, and we ask questions whether the person can do it, whether the person needs to do a few things first before the person can do it. And that's how we have started. I have started doing it. Okay. There could be other health experts also around in India and all. I do not know anyone here. But India, if somebody wants to do it from India, I would know quite a few people who would do it. In USA, I'm always there to help out.
Right. Okay, thank you for that information and insight. And I know this is a word of caution. This is a new technique that we've just learned about, and it's because we're talking about holistic approach, and I guess that's the reason that we wanted to know more about the saltwater gut cleanse. It sounded interesting, and it's a new technique and something that probably, our audience should also know about. So thank you for letting us into your book. And with that, let's bring in Monika. So we talked about gut health and mindful eating, and of course, a little bit of our, looking inside of us and our body with Tanvi's book. So diabetes also has an indirect correlation with stress. And Monika, you've been at the forefront of propagating mindful meditation and breathing techniques to decompress and alleviate daily stress. So what is mindful meditation and how do we practice it? So just throw some light on mindful meditation, please, for our audience.
Suparna. Thank you. Thank you so much. There's so many wonderful talk we were going on, and it was so interesting to hear. It was really interesting to hear about it. So I would like to say that the practice of meditation is not from now. It is thousands of year old technique, and it is still practiced today by people of all different cultures all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't require any special equipment actually, or any major lifestyle changes that are going to be practiced meditation. Beginners can start meditation just for 10 minutes of from their busy life, and slowly expand their time for maybe from 15 minutes to 20 minutes at a time actually. It is just a simple tool, what I can say, and that requires devotion of your time, but you have to be consistent about the practice, and that is the key actually. So as you asked me about mindfulness, and I'm being from past so many years, I've been practicing by myself also. So I would like to say that mindfulness means that we are actually present in the current moment, aware of where we are and what we are doing right now, and not reactive to the situation or overwhelmed by any situations happening around us, and to live every moment by any situations mindfully. So with that, I would say that being mindful, you can be simply aware of your breath while walking, talking, or doing any other chores at your home or at your work. That is what required, Subarna.
Basically, in a nutshell, if I understood right, and correct me if I'm wrong, that mindfulness means being in the present. Is that what it is?
Yes.
And to be mindful of your breath that we are breathing right now, that comes out goes in through our nostrils, and the breath that comes out. So it's just being in the present moment. Is that right?
Yes. Breath is just the tool actually. So even if we are talking, if we are focused, if we are just be aware of it, not even focus, if we are just be aware of it, we know that we are breathing, and the thoughts are not there. We are just in the present moment. That is
right.
What is required.
So how does stress, and I know Michael talked about, 4 components that we need to deal with when, we deal with these, and one of them is stress, and we all need to decompress. And so how does stress, and I know you're a diabetes peer educator, we have gone through, and we have Viviana here, who we have gone through her department to get ourselves certified. So just tell us, and when we were doing our peer educator training, I know that there's a big, huge component in our book, in our training material that talks about stress and stress management, and just not for the patient, but also for the people around who are the caregivers. Also, you also talked about that as well, how we can alleviate their stress. So how does stress affect our glucose level? So is there a correlation between, rising glucose level and stress?
Yeah, Subarna. So what I can share is that the constant self-management of diabetes and fluctuation of the sugar level can cause stress and the risk of related health issues. So meditation can definitely help us it at all. And stress can affect you physically, mentally, and emotionally, but if you are feeling stressed, your body stresses out and releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. And so a simple way to find out that you are stressed, as you were asking me, and that simple way to how to find out that we are going through the stress moment is to, when you rate your stress level every time you take a test of your blood sugar level as being a diabetic. So at the same time, when you are taking a test, you can just test yourself just by sitting in a moment and see how your stress level is. So just try to feel that, okay, suppose 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, and where I'm standing in between. So if you are like, you can sense it, oh, my stress level is 4 or 5 or 6 or even 2 or 3. So this way, when every time you are taking a test, suppose every day, as being diabetic, the person who is diabetic take a test and at the same time doing it, so you are completely basically being aware of it. By the end of the week or after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you know where you are standing. So okay, on Monday my stress level was 4, tomorrow or today it is 6, or oh wow, today it's 2 or 3. That really makes sense. And to do it, it will be really helpful actually.
So you're suggesting self-assessment of your own stress level. So if you are sitting, so if when you're while taking your, test on a glucometer, before that, what kind of stress level are you really worked up, or are you, you've come from, you had a hectic day at work, or maybe, and now we are all, working from home, so it could be another situation because you're coming out of a meeting, a Zoom meeting, and then taking your test. So are you saying that that is the situation? So you need to kind of self-assess yourself at that particular moment to see if you are calm, or whether you are, worked up, or you are, your heart rate is up. So you need to calm yourself down. So that is what you're calling, that is what you...
Yes. So when you're mindfully aware of it, that what's going on in my life in day-to-day basis. So by doing this consistently, suppose for a week, as you're saying, right, that after a week or so, you will realize, you will start to notice that the pattern of high levels of stress is there with high glucose levels, or vice versa, basically.
Okay. So with that, I'll bring Michael into the conversation. So Michael, what's your thought on this? That what is the correlation? Do you think there's a correlation, and what have you analyzed yourself while being, a diabetic yourself? So how have you dealt with it?
Dealing with stress, if you talk to my wife, she'll say it's all about exercise. But I'm not that motivated, but we were trying to get me back to the motivated point. But I think it isn't a automatic recipe for anybody. I think it really is something, it's a time of discovery and finding out. I do agree with meditation. I also agree with faith. I think there are forms of exercise. I know one of the things that de-stress me, you ready for this? Cooking. I like to cook. And I don't know if it's, working with a knife or what it is, but that is something that does relax me. And the other thing for me is playing guitar. I play a lot of musical instruments, and I learned as a child to learn those instruments to de-stress long before I ever had diabetes. So I think there is a definite correlation, and anybody who has taught at either the public health level or at the CDE level that I've ever spoken to, they have and I actually have started working with the CDE because I needed a little bit of a kick in the backside to keep moving forward. So the thing is, it's one of the discussions we had as well, is between doing the plate method to keep down my portions, and then again, good sleep and everything else. But when it came down to stress, she said to me straight up, she says, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I know you deal with anxiety. I know you deal with ADD, but how do you handle things? And like I said, it's been a tough week this week, but most times I can do it. And it's been a beautiful couple days, and the deck furniture is out, and I live in a small little New Englandish type town in Western New York. So I came from a stressful area. So
Yeah,
I think there are a lot of ways to do it. In another area, you'll appreciate this, the lioness service. Getting out and doing service is definitely a stress reducer when you're doing something for someone else. Right?
Yes,
I completely agree with Michael, actually. Whatever you love to do, even gardening or cooking or anything, any chores, anything is meditation. Even if you have seen any singer who is singing and you can see like how blissful a state of mind that person is in, even, anything is so good. In fact, as Michael said, like, as I said also, that we can't avoid stressful situations, but there are things we can do to make it easier to cope up with, which is long deep breathing. Besides cooking, reverses the process, allowing your body and mind to become more calmer. So breathing definitely helps a lot. And deep breathing, as Subhana asked me, deep breathing, also called belly breathing or abdominal breathing, it's an easier way to relax and let go of all your worries. So you can do pretty much anywhere, even if you're driving a car, you can just be aware of your breathing, and it takes just a few minutes, inhalation and exhalation, just a few deep breaths every day. That could make a drastic change in your health issues. Yeah, Subhana.
Yes, so Monika, Monika is my meditation expert, and I'm thinking that if you have a few minutes left, she will, take us a guided meditation demo quickly. So before that, I would like to go to Viviana, and I know she's been patiently waiting and listening to all of it. And so Viviana, I know can you give us a brief overview of the chronic disease self-management program and the department that you work with? So what is this program, and how does it help the community? And
so definitely would love to give you guys a background about the chronic disease self-management and the diabetes self-management programs. So these programs were developed by the Stanford University, which now the developers have branched out as Self-Management Resource Center. So these programs are aimed to help individuals with chronic health conditions, and specifically the diabetes one for people with diabetes, to improve their own health while reducing the care costs. So this is basically the bottom line of this program. So these programs, have different branches, like, for example, the Chronic Disease Self-Management Program, CDSNP for short. It is also called Take Control of Your Health in English, and it's all over the world. So I have to mention that this is something that has been implemented worldwide. And there's also the version of Tomando Control of Your Health, which is the Spanish version, and the diabetes self-management, also called Manejo de tu Diabetes, English and Spanish. So basically, these workshops are led by two peer leaders, and they become trained facilitators of this program. And it is a 6-week workshop. We meet once a week for 6 weeks, 2.5 hours, sometimes shorter. The time goes by really quick because it is really engaged communication with the participants, and everybody sharing and giving out ideas. So this is an evidence-based program, and it's been offered at this moment in 46 states in 19 different countries. So it is very reliable program. And what this program basically does is that it gives ideas and tips, I would say, coping skills to make the daily life easier.
Right.
participants learn how to solve problems, how to deal with difficult emotions, how to relax. And also, and I feel that this is the beauty of this program because I love it, this part, is the action planning. Action planning is something that we do every week.
Right.
And this particular portion, I really like it a lot. So I like to go a little bit into it. So this particular tool that they learn and they practice every week is it gives them an opportunity to make a goal that they are going to accomplish that week, and they make a plan on how they are going to accomplish it. So it helps them to do the things that they want to do, and then they go for it. So other topics that are also covered in during the workshops is dealing with pain and fatigue. Also, healthy eating is talked about. Medication usage. Also, working with the healthcare professionals. In introduction to exercise too. So it is a way to learn self-management and how to self-manage their conditions by recognizing the difficulties and the barriers that they encounter in life, and also understanding the problems that might cause those issues. So a little bit of the format of the program. It's for, we allow 10 to 15 participants at each workshop, because since it is everybody sharing and everybody talking, so if we allow more people than that, it will be more than 2.5 hours. So, and we have to keep it to the time.
Correct.
So there, every section, each session is very informative and interactive as well. So once people join, they feel like, really, is it over? Like 2 hours? Like, for real? So the time goes really, really quick. And this workshop is offered through the county completely free of charge. And it includes a book for each participant to keep, which, thank you so much for showing it, because it has a lot more information than what is covered in the workshop. So that book is like a Bible for each participant to keep. It has tons of exercises. It has a eating guide. It's magnificent. So
control, how to kind of a portion control, and how to kind of measure your food every day, and
everything. It also has the nutrient content in particular foods and things like that, so you can create your own plan. So this is a great resource that's available not just in the county or New Jersey, but nationwide and worldwide. So I feel that everybody should be taking advantage of this program and search if a program like this one is over in your area. So if you guys have any question for me or something that you would like me to add or to include, I'll be more than happy to answer.
thank you, Viviana, for that, explaining the entire DSMP program to all of us. Quickly, I want to ask you, are there any resources that your department, has for, families dealing with chronic illness? They have patients, they have young children who are, juvenile diabetic. Is there some kind of resources that you can, suggest, or resources that are available through your department for these families?
Well, this is one of our best resources that we have through the county that we offer at this moment for people with diabetes. And this program, like I said before, it's not good just for people with diabetes. it is really beneficial also for the families, because learning those tools and the communication that gets involved in there is so important for the whole family, because like Michael was saying before, diabetes doesn't just affect the individual, it also affects the relationship that he has with the people around him. So it is so important that the whole family, that all the support system um, get together and learn about the whole condition, because sometimes, you know, things get misunderstood and it's not truly what the individual with the condition means is a outcome of the condition. So definitely, you know, I will suggest all of the individuals that um, are around the area to search a workshop that's available in the area, because it is completely free. And about resources, we do have a Discover Middlesex webpage that has also all the resources available that are all located in that hub.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for all that information, Viviana. And with that, we are at the top of the hour. And at this time, I'd like to, we have 2 minutes. Monika, would you want to give a quick demo of guided? Is it too short a time?
Yeah, sure. Let me try. 2 minutes is very, very less time. Okay, so let's close our session with just 2 minutes, as what I said, of meditation. So just relax yourself comfortably and keep your back straight. Close your eyes. Make sure that your feet flat on the floor. Place one hand on your belly, just below your ribs, and place the other hand on your chest. Take a regular breath. Now just take a slow, deep breath. Breathe in slowly through your nose. Pay attention to your belly, rising up and going down. Holding your breath. Pause for a second or two, and then release your breath. Slowly breathe in to your belly. Hold for a second or two, and breathe out through your nose. Pay attention as the hand on your belly goes in with the breath. So now let's just quickly do it 10 times, reverse breathing. And with that, just bring an image to your breathing. As you inhale, imagine that the air you are breathing in is spreading relaxation and calmness throughout your body. And as you exhale, imagine that your breath is taking away all the stress and tension you are carrying. So let's count in your mind. 10. Inhale, bring a lot of positive energy, and exhale, release all your stress and tension away. 9, 8. As you are breathing in and out, you're getting more and more relaxed. 7. Breathe in, inhale deep, hold your breath and exhale out, releasing all your tension and stress away. 6, 5, 4, The last 3 breaths, inhale deep to your belly. Hold your breath and release all the tension you are carrying. 2. The last breath, inhale, bring a lot of positive energy. And exhale out, releasing all your tension and stress, dropping down your shoulders, relaxing your whole body and mind. You can relax your palm, and you can do this deep breathing every day. You may want to start the day with it. You can start your day with your breath. Just taking a simple 10 deep breath in and out, releasing a lot of stress and tension you're holding and relieving it. You can gently open your eyes. You just need to do this practice without any judgment and being hard on yourself. So just be kind to yourself with a lot of love and compassion and with patience and persistent. Thank you so much, Subarna.
Thank you, Monika, for that beautiful breathing exercise. And I thank each one of you. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Tanvi. Thank you, Viviana. Thank you, Anu. Thank you, Monika. Thank you, Mana TV, for giving us this platform to come and share our experience, our thoughts. And with that, we come to the end of our panel discussion. Is there anything that you all want to give us a closing remark? The floor is yours. Please go ahead.
I think I forgot to mention that if your organization has a group of people that might be interested in any of this program, give us a call and we can set it up completely free. We'll come, well, now it's everything is virtual. Almost forget about that. But definitely this is a service that is provided for any organization or community group that is in Middlesex County, completely free of charge.
Thank you, Vivian. Keep that in mind, and we will definitely work with you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Michael, you have a closing remark?
I think the one thing that was mentioned that is key is the term diabetes self-management.
Mm-hmm.
This is not anybody else's job but our own, even though we do need a lot of help and a lot of support and a lot of understanding from healthcare professionals, friends, and others who can help us and teach us. So just remember, though, diabetes self-management is the key, and the course that was just being discussed is a great example. And I'm going to seek it out myself because it is one I have not been involved with, and I want to have that knowledge as well. So thank you.
We would love to have you as a peer leader.
Hey, if I come back to Middlesex County, I will.
Or if there's a reason
in your organization or your community, you'll be a great peer leader.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody. Thank you. Good night. And thank you all for joining in. Good night.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.